Welcome back to the Jay and Ciara Poker Show. We are back on the felt today with old Wolfgang Poker.
Okay.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Young kid, fun kid. And we're playing our level of poker at the old 1-3 tables, right?
Yes.
All right, so we're nice and comfortable. And on top of all of that, we've got Ciara's favorite hand.
My favorite hand.
With pocket queens. All right. So everything's lining up for you.
Hard to let the pocket queens go.
Yeah. Everything's lining up for you to have a phenomenal hand analysis.
Please
here.
tell me this is going to go my way.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
That's not nice.
But we're going to talk about the power of position and bet size here. We're hammering home today.
Okay.
We're hammering it home.
I'm going to do it good.
You're going to do it good?
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
The dog wants to come up here. Can I have my glass of wine?
All right, here we are, back on the felt. We've got your favorite hand, but unfortunately, we're not in a great position.
I don't care.
We are under the gun. Actually, not under the gun. I'm sorry, middle position.
Middle position. That's okay.
But we've got a couple limps, as you can see, of $3 there. So what are you thinking here? Middle position with your queens. What are you going to do with a couple limps in front of you? Keep that in mind.
Okay, I raised it to $30 or $30, $35, $30 to $40.
That's a big raise.
That's a
big raise.
Ding, 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 ding. Alarm bells. I have a great hand. Do not play against me. I will beat you.
and you're going to charge these limpers, right, for coming into the pot.
Punish the limpers, as Daniel Negreanu says.
Yes, and I think you would punish the limpers by such a big raise. So Wolfgang agrees with you, but does not go that big.
Okay.
He does make it $20, maybe a little small given all the action because you got the blinds and you got a couple limpers in there. So maybe 25-30 is more of the route to go there now that you say that. But we just make it 20, and you'll see that it kind of does not work out the way he wants it to because he's got to get a couple callers, right? We don't want that. We want to take our queens heads up, right? But look at that. The flop comes favorably to us.
Beautiful.
And we hit a set.
Okay.
Right? So, something weird happens here, right? So, we are actually in position now.
Yeah.
The big blind called us and the player to our right here called us. So, that means we're in position of an ace queen 10 board with two clubs. But the guy leads out to us for 25-30% pot right to our right. What's going on?
Although this is great. This is great news for me, right? Now I'm like, but also, this board represents so many things. King Jack could have limped in and hit a straight here. There's a flush draw on the board here. This is a very scary board. So the one guy who called he let out. He bet $20.
Yeah. So a donk lead, as they call it, right? So he just called you pre-flop, but now leading donking India.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do here, I have to make it big. I have to get the guy behind me because am I last to act here? Now
you are last to act. Yeah, the first guy checked already. Donk lead into you. Now it's on you.
So I have to make a really big bet here. I have to make it like $120.
And what's your reasoning?
The reasoning is if he's on if he's on a flush draw, he has to pay to see it. And number two, I could narrow the range down even further. So if there's a call there, I'm a little scared. Now I can narrow down the range. Like he's definitely on a flush draw or he hit the straight. My queens may not be good here. Maybe he's got two pair. He could have ace 10 here.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps with narrowing down the range so much.
So I think what a simpler way to say that is you need some protection for your queens, right? You don't want to give out a cheap free card.
Yeah.
You want to pay those people that are on the flush
You gotta
draws
pay to see it,
and
baby.
find out if you're beat, right? Because if someone shoves all in, you're gonna be in a weird spot.
But also a set of 10s could be.
Set of 10s
could be doing the same thing.
Yeah, be betting the same thing.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you. I raised this up too. I do not want to see another card.
How much? What's the bet sizing?
Let's see. So there's
67.
about $100 in the pot, right? Because we made it 20 pre plus the limpers. Now this guy's $20, so roughly $100 in the pot. I'm gonna make it 140.
Ooh.
And the reason for this,
that's a big one. I said 140.
I know. I go big.
Yeah.
Because what is this guy leading into me with?
Yeah.
Right? He has to like his hand.
Mm-hmm.
He has to like his hand a lot. So, I mean, he's not bluffing, right? With 3 players in, he's not just lead bluffing for a small size. I don't know. Maybe people are weird, but I make it big because, like you said, I hope he's got a set of 10s. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But he likes his hand enough to lead me into here, so I'm gonna bet big.
Does he have King Jack? Ew.
So let's see what happens. Actually, Wolfgang disagrees with both of us. He's actually going to end up just calling this. And he talks through the reasoning.
Okay.
His view is he's got such a strong hand that he wants to allow the big blind who just called pre-flop into the hand.
Okay.
Now, I disagree with that on this board. Now, if you had the Stone Cold lock on the hand, and you're not scared of another card coming, like a club or any kind of weird straight coming in, then maybe when you don't need protection. But that's a scary board.
And here it is.
So,
okay.
So he does just call, and the guy, he doesn't take the bait. He just folds.
Okay.
So now we are heads up.
Okay.
We are heads up. And then one of those scary cards we didn't want to see comes, the old 9 of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know initially it's a scary card.
Initially it's a scary card. I want to see what my opponent, because last to act again.
You are last to act.
I want to see what my opponent does.
He just checked.
He just checked to me.
Yep.
Ooh, that he could be setting a trap.
Could be setting a big old trap.
He could be setting a little bit of trap. This is poker. This is poker. Hey, when people are like, it's luck. This is poker. Because now you have to think about, do I bet small to see if he's going to raise, raise
I like
me,
it. I like it.
Right? And then I could possibly let it go.
Okay.
Or do I bet really big here? To let him know I could have the flush. Or a set of queens.
Or maybe some protection, just in case he's got like ace king with the king of clubs.
Yeah.
You don't want him drawing out to another club.
So this is poker.
You're in a tough spot.
Poker.
What does Ciara do?
So I bet about half pot here.
Okay.
$60 and see what my opponent does.
I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that.
If he raises, I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble.
I'm really okay with that. I think in game, now that we're sitting thinking about it, that's probably a good play. Mm-hmm. Better than what I would do. I think in game, I would check back for pot control. Just because I'd be like, because you know on the flop, you're like, oh, no club, no club, no club, club. You're like, so I know I might, but then he checked. But he could be checking king 10 of clubs, right? 10 jack of clubs is all.
Because I'm just playing myself at this point. Because what if I'm the villain and I have the flush, right? And I'm like, yes, I'm going to check raise here.
Yeah. So I check in the interest of pot control.
Yeah.
Because I want the board to pair on the river, right? And 2, I don't want to get blown off a hand, right? If he does, let's say he has ace king with just a naked king of clubs. If I bet, he could bluff that hand.
What does naked king of clubs mean?
Means he's just got one club.
Okay.
He doesn't have 2 clubs.
Yeah, some people don't know that.
But he could bluff that hand because then by that point he's got the king of clubs. He knows I can't have the king of clubs, so he could rep the nuts and get me to fold my hand. So I check back for pot control, but I think a small bet is okay too, for exactly what you said. Like he's gonna raise off if he does have a big hand, right? And then we can decide, probably get away from it. Because people just aren't bluffing these spots.
No, not at
too
this,
often, right?
Not at this stake.
And
not
look
at
what
this
happens,
level.
babe. Wolfgang agrees with you. He bets $50 into the pot.
Am I a professional poker player?
Exactly what you said.
What?
And I think his reasoning was exactly along the lines of yours right there. So beautiful play, I think, all around. And we're gonna, with that bet size, we're gonna get the guy to call.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So what does that tell you? He didn't raise us off, right?
Yeah.
He didn't raise us off.
So he still
what are you
likes.
thinking?
He
What's
likes
his
his
range
hand.
here?
So his range now is 2 pair. It's not a flush. It's 2 pair.
Okay.
A set. Could be a straight, but I'm not even putting him on a straight because I think a straight would have tried to protect it a little bit more if he hit it on the flop. So I'm putting him on set of 10s or 2 pair. That is my analysis.
So we're good
Yes.
with those hands.
Yes.
And he does check to us on the river here.
Okay.
So this is the power of
But
position I was talking about,
yeah.
right? Because if we were out of position with this hand, and because we are by no means have the nuts here, so we would have to be playing a little pot control and checking and stuff, and we could get taken advantage of, and he could blow us off our hand with some big betting, right? But we're in position this hand, so we get to see what he does, and he's checking here.
I'm in the chair.
So what are we doing? Are we going for some value here?
Yeah.
Or are we just because you said he's got 2 pair plus, which is, that's gonna call a bet. So what do you think? What's our size?
Yeah, because he still likes his hand, right? And he still likes his hand. He's a little nervous of the flush. It could be a little baby. He's still
could be a baby flush.
It could be
be like 6-7 of clubs.
Yeah. But why would he call $20 though pre-flop? That's not
I don't think that's out of the realm.
in 1-3, really?
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, really? Okay. Yeah, so you're going for a value bet here. And I'd make a pot size bet here.
I love it. Love it. I do the exact same thing. Here's my reasoning.
Okay.
Because he checked the river, right?
Yes.
If he had a big flush, he would be betting himself because he would not want this to check through, right? He's going to hope I've got exactly what I have, a set, and going to pay him off. So by him checking tells me he does not have a strong
But
hand.
you have to remember in 1-3, sometimes we do things.
Weird things.
Like, don't do this because I've made this mistake many, many times. Like, I'm like, yes, I have the best hand. I am going to check raise the river.
And he could be doing that. But
And
I
it
have
never,
to have.
It never works. Never works. They check back and I'm like, dang it.
He would have you'd have to have as strong a hand as this. Because if I just had ace king, maybe 2 pair, I'd check this back. But my hand is pretty strong where I beat all those 2 pair hands. The only hands I lose to are flushes. So I think I bet big here, hoping he calls with 2 pair or a lower set or something like that. Because he checked the river. He does not have a flush by checking the
I'm
river.
scrolling. I like his little shark thing. What are those called?
Card protectors is what
Okay.
they're called. All right, so let's see what Wolfgang Poker decides to do on the river.
Forget the name. I don't know why people do them though.
Do what? Have card protectors?
Yeah.
Fun. It's a talking piece, It's a fun.
Is it?
It's a fun talking piece.
What does my card protector look like?
All right. Now let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about this bet. That is so strange. And I see that the other guy made the call.
Yeah. So he only bet $50.
Okay.
What do you think his reasoning was?
The reasoning was to get more money
Yeah,
out of
exactly.
this guy.
Right?
Okay.
He's like, he did not put. I think we both read he had a strong hand, right? He donked us on the flop,
Yeah.
right? So he likes his hand there, and called our bet on the turn. I think he's got a strong enough hand to call a big bet here on the river. So I think we could have upsized that a lot. But you're right, Wolfgang went through the process. Is like, I just want to get some more money out of this guy. I think he's only got a marginal hand. I'm going to get some more money out of him. So that's why he bet $50. And sure enough, you were right, babe. He had 2 pair there.
Are you okay? Are you going to die?
I think I'm like burping and hiccuping at the same
Ew.
time. So ace 5.
What a
weird play.
hand.
Weird play on his part. But he did have 2 pair. And I think he would have called a big bet on the river. Right? Because he hit his gin card, according to him, 5. If he was calling this whole time with his wet board here, he was definitely calling when his gin card, the 5, came. So I think me and you were simpatico with that big bet. We could have made an extra $150 here on the river if we would have bet that big. But your queens came through.
This is exactly how I would play it. I would have made it bigger pre-flop, but maybe everybody folds and I make just $6 or whatever. But other than that, this is how I play.
Yeah.
So professional
and that's
poker
not,
players
you're basically
do
a
not
professional. You just
take advantage of that.
Flop sets.
This is
That's
what
all
I
you
do,
gotta
and I show
flop
every
sets.
time.
Flop sets, and everybody can be a professional if you just flop sets every time.
I do, and I flop, flushes and streets.
So your favorite hand did come through for us,
Thank
babe.
you
We did not.
for not-
Pocket queens are holding for us this time. But yeah, fun hand. Wolfgang taking home some pots here, and we are taking home. You know, I really tried to think of a joke there, and I tried to make it all work, and I really failed at it. Sorry, my mind is not quick enough. Couldn't do it, and I failed. So I guess we'll have to try again next time.
Bye.
Bye.